Ben Coleman, one of your hosts here for the Florida Aviation Network. We're doing what they call a hot swap on a hot set on a cool day here at Sun and Fun. And we're going to be talking here today with some folks that have been going through a little bit of a transition, I guess would be about the best way to put it. They've been doing the same thing for many years, and they have done it well. But things that do not change remain the same. And every now and then, there's going to be some changes. And this is why we have these guys here to talk to us a little bit about the change and what is the same. So, does that sound familiar?
Sounds familiar to me.
I'm going to introduce you, Steve. Hey, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Ben.
Good to see you, Ben. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, your collar's messed up. Let's straighten your collar.
Thank you for having
Who
me.
just
dresses
straighten
you,
that.
Jimmy?
Huh?
Who dresses you in the morning? It's Steve.
Julie's supposed to straighten it up. She just.
Guys, welcome to the set again.
Thank
It's
you.
always good to see you. And I understand you're with the NATIT team. The NATIT team.
Titan Aerobatic
No, it says
Team.
NATIT team.
That's Titan backwards. You got that
they
photo deal there.
Yeah, I don't know how they
Two
did
is
that.
backwards and everything.
Yeah,
So,
well, they
anyway.
just fly through. I was just going to have some fun with you.
There you go.
You're now the NATIT team.
There you go. Titan Aviation Fuels.
Titan Aviation. And
Yes, sir.
Titan's been in the business for a while.
Yeah.
And,
They have.
They
They have.
Not very well known here deep in the southeast,
Mm-hmm.
but throughout the other part of the southeast. I just where was I? In Murfreesboro.
Okay.
And they have a big outfit there, Titan, and
Yeah.
a lot of fuel. But tell us a little bit, Steve, and about how the transition's going. Can we say the A word?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we
We were
transitioned-
Aeroshell team for 20 years, and still run Aeroshell oil in the airplanes.
Okay.
But there weren't any hostilities or anything. They were great to us. They were wonderful.
Well, good.
We had an opportunity. We've been friends with Buddy Stallings, who owns Titan Fuels. We've been friends with him for 15 years, and he's been wanting to sponsor us for years and years. And Jimmy and we're only going to do this for 3 more years, and then we're going to retire out of it.
Well, you're going to retire at age 50? Why quit so
wish
soon?
I was 50.
I wish. I started flying air shows when I was 19, and I'm 63, so I'll be 66, and Jimmy will be
74.
74, and doing formation aerobatics at night. There comes a time we want to stop on the top of the game.
I
we
want
don't
you to go
wanna
out on
stop
the high
bottom.
end.
No, that's it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
want to do
yeah.
it right.
I'm with
So, and there might be some young aviators that pick this thing up and keep going with it. We don't know yet.
I have no doubt, and I hope, and you guys through the years, you've been scout. That one's got something going on behind the eyeballs. I mean, you've been scouting. You know who's out there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I've been through a couple of you. As a matter of fact, I helped Gene find Brian, and every now and then y'all thank me for that.
There you go.
Sometimes we've cussed you.
Yeah, sometimes we have.
Just kidding.
No,
But Titan's been just wonderful to work with. They've got facilities in Europe. They've got over 1,000 FBOs that they handle the fuel on, and numerous other things if you look it up. But that's just, they're just really some great people to work for.
and I'm sure that you guys have gone through a whole hell of a lot with this transition, and this is your first kind of rolling out.
It's a lot of painting airplanes, business cards,
Right.
shirts. I mean, it didn't
Lot of that
realize
kind of
how much
stuff.
it was to
But-
get it going, but
Now-
we're
now-
doing it.
Now tell me again, Buddy, what's the buddy's name?
Stallings.
Stallings.
Yeah.
Okay, because we, Buddy, wherever you are, Buddy,
He's
you deserve,
inbound.
You deserve, when you see this sometime, you deserve a real handshake and a pat on the back for sidling up with these guys and boosting them. Again, every now and then a little bit of change is okay.
But he's the type of guy that that you just like to deal with. Just give you a quick example. Our last air show, Jimmy stepped off the back of the wing of the T6, and tore his ACL, and I mean tore it, I mean bad, basically ripped it in half. So he couldn't fly the last air show. I mean, he couldn't hardly walk. And Buddy happened to be there with his airplane, and he saw Jimmy, and Jimmy couldn't even fly his T6 home. And we were gonna have to try to find somebody to take it home, and Jimmy's all down in the dumps, and Buddy walks up and says, "Jimmy, you look like you wanna go home." And he said, "I'll give anything to go home." He said, "Well, come with me." Brought him down there, put him in his airplane, and flew him all the way to Louisiana.
And we're not talking about a Cessna 150.
No, we're talking
he-
about a Cessna Citation.
Citation jet, put him on his jet, flew him to Louisiana. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is.
Well, I have heard other good things about Buddy.
Oh, yeah.
But when
Yeah.
we, again,
Great
we
guy.
need
Individual.
to support him as best we can.
indeed.
And folks like that, they really don't do this for name
No.
recognition.
No.
But they do this to help with
That's
the
right.
industry. The industry's
That's
been
right.
good to
That's right.
him.
That's right.
And he's paying it back.
That's
Pay it
right.
forward.
That's
That's
exactly
right.
what's going
That's
on.
right.
But now, on a personal note, Jimmy,
Mm-hmm.
when you slipped off the wing of that airplane, what did you say?
I actually just hit the ground, and I kind of screamed, and then I realized, this wasn't very good, because I could
Oh.
immediate pain, and
So
we
then
had
we
a
were
function
training.
that night. And didn't get to go to the function,
Oh,
and when I was at the room putting ice on it, and I was thinking, this flying's not going to work, not this
This
air
wasn't in
show.
the equation.
So
was
then
it?
we're training this spring, right?
Yeah.
So we're training. We're at Tallulah-Vicksburg. We got the box though. We're training. And about that time, I hear him. I look over at him, fell again.
Yeah,
Hit-
off
he,
the
he had a knee replacement last.
Yeah, that's
and
the ACL.
He had gotten over that. He
Left
hit the
leg.
ground and rolled, and all I looked over is I said, "Jimmy, not again! Man, come on, man!"
I'd bop right up. I didn't, scrape my elbow a little bit, and that was it.
Well,
Thank God I didn't hit hard.
We
That's
might
all I
need to
was-
get you a couple pillows or something,
Yeah.
or
I don't know what's
knee
going
pads
on.
or something to wear around. Knee
It's all
replacement.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man,
knee replacement.
you had one.
I had one, yeah.
I had one. You beat me. I got to find out who did yours.
Oh man, I had a great doctor did mine.
Yep.
He was
Same one did you?
No, different guy, but it's the same kind of deal. I mean, I'm fine now.
Man, I was 6 months and I was still crying like a little girl.
Not me at all, man. I don't know. Mine was great.
And that was not a negative comment about little girls crying. But you got to be careful these days.
Look, Ben, you got to be a little tough too now. Come
Well,
on, man.
it hurt. Damn, it hurt. But is there anything other than the new paint job, the new name, the new shirts? What is there anything
Mm-hmm. Well-
different? Because you guys have a routine that you don't want to mess with it too much.
Well, right now we've got a new lead. I don't know if anybody knows it, but Mark Henley.
Yeah.
We've been flying with Mark I've been flying with him for 24 years. Got a medical issue that he's dealing with. Now he'll be back. He'll be back on board in a year or so, but he's going to have a little surgery done here in the next the 18th. So keep him in your prayers.
He's tough. He can
Yeah,
work it out.
he is. He's
He and
tough,
Alan,
and but we've got a guy named Stan Music, and we've been practicing hard, and he's doing a good job.
Okay.
And he's going to fill in for Mark until he can get back.
Good. Good.
So
And Brian, he's still hanging in there.
Brian's still
Brian's still
same
Brian.
old Brian.
I'm Brian.
He's a single man, girls. Anybody looking for some real headache, go get him.
Please take Brian. Please, at least give him
We
a
love
shot.
him to death, but he's high maintenance.
I'll never ever forget the first. I think it was the first season you guys were flying with him, or he was with you, and you put him out front as lead.
Yeah.
And I said, well, why did you do that? Well, he can't hit anybody if he's in front. but then the other time, I think it was Mark. Y'all were forming up somewhere, and you go out and you do a left turn, the right turn, and Brian turned the wrong way.
Yeah.
And Mark, and I wasn't on frequency, but I, if I could have been a fly in the cockpit, it was Mark coming up, keying up. Hey, Brian, yeah? Where you going? Right in the middle of the show. Oh, okay. I'll be back in a minute. But you guys,
Brian's a hell of a stick.
yeah.
Smooth as silk, hell of a stick and everything, and we followed him leading a few times, but it's just you got to find the one that you really
It's good.
and Brian's flown every position in the team, you know.
And he's the type of fella, if you knew him personally, he don't matter. He not
He'll
get
go
mad
where-
at me.
go
for
where
saying
he-
He's
go
laid
where-
back. He's pretty laid back.
But as a matter of fact, all you guys are pretty laid back until it comes time to take care of business. And
you gotta be.
y'all get serious when it
You
comes
gotta
time
be,
to
gotta
do
be
business.
game on.
And I think that's something that I'd like to see other performance teams, and not name any names, just everybody in general, to show the personality that it takes to really get behind this industry and have personality, rather than just, I got to be 100% professional the whole time.
Yeah.
You can still be professional and have a good time.
Well, that's
yeah,
the thing about team stuff. I've seen teams come and go, come and go, come and go. I can name so many of them. And a lot of them were really, really good, but they, kind of what you're saying, that they didn't get along behind the scenes. I mean, we go out to eat dinner together, we do our families do together. We're not only, you know, pilot friends, we're friends in general. We're such good friends. We can cuss each other out or get on each other or get mad at them, and 30 seconds later, laughing with each other. That's how close we are. We don't take offense to anything. And that's when the team really starts coming together, when nobody takes offense to anything. If I talk about Jimmy's flying or Jimmy talks about my flying, we stop and we listen to them. We listen to each other, and we do our best to fix whatever. And that's how you start building a team. If you get somebody that takes offense at any type of corrections you're trying to give him or her, I forget it.
Well,
Forget
that's
it.
and
It
that's
ain't gonna work.
I was sitting in. I follow you guys around all over the place,
Yeah.
but I forget where it was. It was sometime, but you know, you got a good team effort. You critique each other and you watch
amen.
each other.
You bet. Yeah.
And every now and then, I forget who it was. One time, they came up and said, "That last time, did you see me get out of coordination on that one thing?" Yeah. What was that all about? Well, I dropped my damn water bottle. And,
No, I ain't dropping. Hey, if I drop, I ain't gonna quit looking. No.
But it's that type of camaraderie
Oh, yeah.
that I think that really is one reason you guys have been together as long as you have.
That's true.
Because what y'all, the North American.
Yeah, well, the North American Aerobatic Team started in 1985, a small town in Lake Providence, Louisiana. Just Alan Henley and myself, and then we flew. The air boss there said, "Man, I've never seen two T6s do that before." So come to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. The next, like 2 weeks later, well then Ben Cunningham said, "I want to join." So we did a 3-ship at Pine Bluff, and John D. Rockefeller III was in the crowd. And he came up, and he had a bluegrass festival. He loved bluegrass and up in Arkansas, Petty G Mountain. And it just started snowballing from there. We found out we all flew solo aerobatics. By putting us all together, we flew more air shows. Plus, it was just more challenging. You know, it's one thing doing aerobatics, another thing doing aerobatics, 6-8 feet off somebody's wing. And the challenge of that was what we really liked. So then in 2001, Aeroshell came on board. And that kind of put a name on us, put a brand on us. And we'll always be thankful for that.
Sure.
And they were really good to us. So, but then we love our old buddy, and we said we got 3 years left, and we're going to give him a shot at it. So
Good.
Here we are.
Good.
And like I say, we're still running Aeroshell oil in the airplane right now. So it's all good. It's all good.
And I haven't seen Gene McNeely in, gosh,
Yeah.
at least a year.
I saw him.
Yeah, we saw
He
him
looks
yesterday.
great. I saw him and his son Greg.
Yeah,
They're here.
yeah. I see Greg out at Reno.
Yeah, I call Gene the ever ready bunny, man. He just keeps on banging that drum. I think he's 83 now.
Yeah, race 90.
Yep.
But then, and I'll stop by in Spruce Creek and drop in. It's just,
Yeah.
and I miss Reno. I am going to miss. the
I've
sights
never
of
been to Reno. Never have.
Wow.
Too busy flying air shows. We flying 20-something shows a year. And hey, when I finally get a weekend off, I'm ready to go play with the grandbabies and
That's,
go to the
yeah,
lake and
Sure.
and sit around.
There is life beyond flying
It
an
sure
airplane.
is. So that's what I
But
enjoy
it's been
doing.
good for you. I mean, crop dust. You know how to
Yeah,
spray crops, don't you?
I've been an aerial applicator. People call it crop dusting. Correct terminology is really aerial applicator because, nobody puts out dust anymore, and and we seed crops, fertilize crops, fungicide crops, just like you do your roses in your garden, and been doing that longer than anything. Doing that for coming up on 44 years.
And it doesn't seem to have had too many negative effects on you.
No, that's big old. Yeah, that's some media coming out with that.
I'm messing with you.
I've never been sick once.
Good.
And no, it's been good for me. I started going the airline business like Jimmy, and when I went to A&P school down in Lake Charles for 2 years, my dad knew I was going to be a pilot. He said, "Well, go get your A&P mechanics license. It'll make a better pilot out of you." And that is true. The more you can learn about your aircraft, the more you can learn how it works, how the systems work. I mean, you need to know as much as you can about what you're flying. And so if you do have a problem that you know where that's really not that big a deal, or I need to pay attention to that, or maybe I can do this to fix that. And so when I got out of A&P school, I was going to go back and go to college and finish getting a degree, and they just weren't hiring. The economy, that was back in '80, and they weren't doing. And then I met my wife, and
That changes things.
for some reason I had to start making money. I don't know what happened. I think wife and the money go hand in hand. I don't know what happened.
This used to be fun. No, it still is. Don't
Now I'm still married to the same
Yes,
girl,
good.
and she's here with me.
Good. I remember seeing y'all at ICAS a lot.
Yeah.
Usually it was
Yeah.
in the elevator going up and down. We run
Oh
into each other.
yeah. She's my rock.
Jimmy, you're a man of few words, aren't you?
Well, Steve's talking.
hard
Next
to
time
talk
we
at the
do
same
this,
time.
next time we do it, I'm gonna say, Steve, you go do it. I'm gonna go take a nap, and then he'll get jealous because I got some sleep out of it.
No, it's all good.
You
It's all
guys,
good.
we do appreciate you fitting us in because
Yeah, you
you're
bet.
kind of like a mainstay here with Florida Aviation
Well,
Network.
thank you.
Every year.
Thank you for having us.
And
Yeah.
I look forward to. Do you have any smoke oil out there? You're gonna.
Yep.
make any
We're going to
oil?
start the
We're gonna
show
start the
today.
show.
I'm kind of looking forward to that because we usually don't do that. We're going to circle the jumpers, and it's going to be 5 holding on at one time all the way down to 1,000 feet before they let go of each other. So, and we're going to circle them on the way down, and then we're going to break off. And when they touch the ground, then we're going to hopefully be inbound and do our full show. So we're going to start the show
Okay.
today
Well, that'll be a little
1
different
o'clock.
twist.
Yeah.
at 1
And-
o'clock.
And you're gonna be smoke on as you're
Yep,
going around?
and we're going. We can only circle about 3 times at the max, or we won't have enough smoke for our performance. So we won't be able to do it about 3 circles, 2.5, 3 circles, and then we'll break off.
Well, that's one thing about those big old 1320, 1340.
1340.
1340s.
Yeah, 600 horse.
They put some smoke out.
They do. We burn more smoke oil than we do fuel. People are like, what? And I'm like, yep. We put 2 gallons a minute per airplane.
Yeah.
I burn about 15 gallons of avgas per performance. 15 gallons is all I burn. I burn 20 gallons of smoke oil
Damn. I
per
had no idea.
performance.
I didn't know that.
Yep, that's 80 gallons of smoke oil.
Just when you think you know it all, you learn something else.
Yep, so
I
more
don't
smoke oil
understand.
than we do. Yeah.
Parting thoughts, because we're going to let you get on to your. You got to get your head into the. We're getting soon starting the air show.
We got our
Oh, we got a
40
while.
minutes, yeah.
'Cause
I think
you
we
get
got to go.
nervous.
We got to go somewhere in science here before
Yeah,
long.
I
I'm
think
really
we-
not sure. if
You
we
got
can-
your booth there. You're going to be doing the autograph thing.
I don't really know. They pull me this way and that way, and wherever they have me go.
Go here, go
They
there.
do. I got a schedule there somewhere.
Well, and I know you guys get nervous before performance, and you know.
No.
just-
I used
I'm
to.
getting
I'd say when
nervous.
I started doing solos and stuff like that, get little butterflies and stuff like that, and I don't, not at all anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not nervous. You're there to do your job, and that's what you have to just tell yourself. You know, you've been practicing, you've been doing your deal.
Yep.
You just have to put it out of your mind,
Well,
and just go do it.
And that's also what they call polish.
Yes,
get some
so I
polish
don't
on
know,
you,
but I don't really
Get polished,
don't
but
get
never
nervous
get
about it at
complacent.
all.
No, because they'll hurt
Never
you.
get
They'll
complacent.
hurt you.
Yeah.
And I do want to thank you for mentioning the mechanic aspect, because I'm a mechanic.
Yeah.
You got to know, if you know how to work on them, know what's going on behind the panel, it helps you troubleshoot things.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
When you're in
No
the heat
doubt
of the
about
game.
it. No doubt about it.
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
it's
Good to
always
see
a
you,
pleasure.
Ben. Have a good
Jimmy?
one. You bet.
Thank you, Ben.
And I'll talk to you next time.
All right.
No. We're going to send Steve
Well,
and Jimmy
we'll
go
swap
get a
chairs.
nap.
They can't take Jimmy. Jimmy is a very talented pilot. He's retired from Delta. He flew with Northwest, then transitioned over to Delta, and he used to fly air shows with my dad way back.
Knew his dad.
And my dad was kind of the mentor of this whole thing. He used to do a two-ship aerobatic act with a guy named Bob Speed with two T6s. And that's where the idea came from, was actually from my father, because he passed away from a non-aviation accident, nothing to do with aviation. And I said, I want to try that, because I remember him doing it as a kid, and I'd seen a couple of films, and I said, oh, I have to try that. So Alan said, well, you can fly my wing. And that's where it got started. It was actually from my dad.
Well, I know you hated to lose him, but he's still with you.
He is. I feel him every now and then whenever I'm screwing up. I feel him back there.
All right, guys.
All right.
You
Thank
bet.
you, Ben.
Thanks,
And,
Ben.
we're-
Appreciate
guys.
it.
We're going to tie this one off, and we'll see you next interview.